Kate and Anna McGarrigle are with us tonight. Now, I am told that you two recently sat down with a glass of wine in hand.
Or like a bottle of wine.
Yeah. And listened to your first album, something you hadn't done in many years.
Yes, and I think the reason we did that is people often say, oh, you write quirky songs, and sometimes, I mean, people have called up and said, could you please send us some of your quirky songs, because we're looking for something.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
Well, no, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, we obviously take it as a compliment.
Take everything.
Yeah,
That's a compliment.
And also somebody said that there was a timeless quality about them. They didn't really seem to the shelf life was good for the stuff we were doing. And so we listened to, just before this record came out, this Matapedia record came out, we sat down and listened to, not all the records, but a few of them. And they did. I mean, I have to confess, they're right.
They're timeless. They hold up.
Yeah, I think what it is, it also has a lot to do with production values that don't fade with time. You don't want to sort of...
Does the message, Kate, hold up? You two are very much rooted in the 60s.
Well, I think we're rooted musically in the 60s. I mean, the song we just sang, we are rooted in that kind of Appalachian. We love that kind of music, which comes from, it's not so much preachy folk, it's kind of, it's less political and more coming from the music. I mean, I think
You're
that's
of the
really
non-preachy category.
Yeah, just because, I don't know, it's because we are. I mean, you know, like, I'm becoming more socialist these days as I see all those rich people. I mean, I think I'm going to start to preach. Yeah, I think, I don't know, the message.
But do the messages survive? I mean, musically, yes, and the songs, they're there still?
The message, I mean, I think it's mostly, we mostly, I think, do it for the music. I mean, I think the message, I mean, we also have a lot of family in our songs because we were brought up listening to a lot of like Stephen Foster and stuff like that. It's very home concentrated, but I mean, it's not necessarily back porch. I mean, this could be, you know, a Cole Porter song and somebody in the family singing it or something like that. I mean, it's still very much living room music, I mean, to us.
Anna, what about the whole question of aging? Has it impacted your writing? Do you view the world differently?
Yeah, I mean, I find that some days I feel less and less like, yes, I know, but to be perfectly honest, and I think that's what we've always been, I mean, you do feel less and less like doing some things, you know. I mean, like right now, when I say honestly, I'm enjoying reading the financial page. I'm sort of getting more out of it right now. Yeah. I don't know, I think it's hard to be romantic after a certain age. I mean, I'm just being, you know, you can still, it's in the memory bank. Right. It's hard to...
well, you just get smarter as you get older.
It's hard to access.
We're so slow, it takes us a long time to get smart. You know?
But do you find your interests, your lyrics changing? You just say, oh, I can say that now?
They tend to get perhaps a little more... how can I say, we're a little bit more cynical, I think, but we've always been slightly cynical, but I think we've always had a bit of an edge. I mean, we've never kind of like, oh, I love you kind of thing. There's always been a little twist in there somewhere, and I think we continue along that.
I was going to say something, when you say, you feel sort of less and less like doing, especially the touring part, which is really, you know, it takes a toll on you. It is grueling, and the money's not that great. But anyway, I heard that like Leonard Cohen is, I know, 10 years.
Your RSP.
Right.
Okay.
No, I said Leonard Cohen's 10 years older than I am. I know that for a fact. And apparently now he just goes and he sits on top of a mountain with his Buddhist, you know, mentor.
In California.
And, yeah, sometimes I feel that's what I want to do too.
I think he's got the Globe and Mail with him.
Well, now, if there's partition in Quebec, might you find yourself a little chunk to go and sit? Is this an issue that troubles you? What's going on?
I used to live in Westmount, which was like the English section. I got so tired of people there saying, oh, when are you leaving? I got to go. Da, 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 da. So I moved over to Outremont, which is solid French or Hasidic. And neither one of them are going anywhere. They're just kind of staying there. So I go and I buy my bread, and nobody knows me, and I don't care. Yeah. You know, it's a great place to live because the way we can work here, we can work in New York, we can work in Europe, we can work anywhere. It doesn't really affect, I mean, it doesn't affect our livelihood at all. I mean, like the money we're taking in.
And when you were in Dublin, there was this story of a wild mad American.
Oh, okay, yes. What happened is our visit and our concerts in Dublin coincided with
the
first time Notre Dame
played Navy.
Oh,
and
boy.
they took the whole thing out of the U.S. and moved the whole thing to Dublin. And so this night after our, I guess we played there for 2 nights. I guess it was our last night. We were with some friends. We went to have a drink in the bar, and
Kind of a nice hotel, kind
Yeah.
of upscale.
Yeah.
and there was this sort of loud guy. I mean, we had seen him in the breakfast room, and then some people had seen him coming in the night before, and he was
You guys
yelling
don't know
at.
how to do anything here. Your phones don't work. You know, the usual.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was very sort of anti, even though he probably was, you know,
Irish
of
American,
Irish
yeah.
descent. But anyway, so we were sitting around the table, and Rufus, Kate's son, was there, and our sound man, and Joel, the fiddler.
I mean, he was very abusive.
Yeah.
Very, very abusive.
And we were just sitting quietly on our own, you know, singing a couple of songs, which is acceptable. People expect
Right.
you to do that stuff in Dublin, right? To sing. And anyway, he sort of wandered over to our table, and by the end of the night, we had him crying. Because Rufus sang, what's
The minstrel boy?
He sang The Minstrel Boy, and we were all, everybody was singing in harmony, and I have to admit, it was quite beautiful. And
You
the guy was
soothed
in
the sad
tears.
He was in
That's right.
tears. He'd
Yeah.
go, "Ah."
And he had a priest who was his handler, which was very weird. You know, this man that he sort of took everywhere with him. But anyway.
Well, you could sort of rent yourselves out to hotels, you see, as a sideline.
It was perfect. Rufus's wallet was missing the next day.
Uh-oh. Been wonderful to have you here
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Very
Thank you so
nice,
much.
yeah.
Kate
Thank
and
you.
Anna McGarrigle and their latest album, Matapedia, their first in 6 years, and it is well worth a listen. Now, don't go too far away. Coming back right after the break, we'll be joined by Cindy Church.